What are the other reasons why the 29th Street, or if you can think of any, that why that is kind of, if there's any showstoppers on that one?
Sure. So in terms of costing, it's estimated that it's an order of magnitude more expensive than any of the other options, just because of the length and the environmental issues. Department of Fisheries and Oceans have in the past indicated that, in their view, this would be an unacceptable HAD, which would not gain approval. And so there's a couple of near showstoppers right off the bat. And to further to that, from a transportation planning perspective, the bulk of the traffic isn't going to Comox that we're looking to pass across the river. It's heading from, southwest to East Courtenay. So it's not as effective in resolving that issue.
I'd like to interject at this time. That may be possible, but I still think that the further to the south we can get a bridge, the better off we are, and especially if we can link it with, and this is one of the thoughts about this area, link it with some form of a ring road which hooks up to Lerwick. I mean, the Comox Peninsula is growing every year, and the traffic flow is growing every year, and it is a huge problem getting out of that peninsula. So if we had a crossing in this area, it would take a lot of the heat off the Ryan Road Hill, and the Ryan Road connector and the bypass, which is a very, very heavily used area. And some years ago, our former engineer indicated that the traffic flow on that street, Ryan Road, and the bypass is growing at about 10% a year. Do you have any comments on that? Or if you haven't studied it, I don't expect you to.
Yeah, and I don't know about 10% per year. That seems high right now, but I think the city has in the past planned on some improvements to alleviate the congestion on Ryan Road, and I think we'd have to check with city staff, but I believe a number of those projects are still on the books. The Tunner Drive extension was one project that was contemplated, and that was to parallel Ryan Road to remove some of the traffic from the linkage, an Old Island Highway all the way up to Ryan Road Hill. It would connect into Back Road.
Except, with all due respect, it would still funnel traffic potentially up that same Ryan Road Hill. And the other problem is it would then force a lot of traffic to go on Back Road and through residential areas like Valley View and those sort of areas. We've already had huge complaints about people using it as a shortcut to cut across, and it would definitely encourage that. That's just my comment. I'm not expecting you to comment on that.